Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Steffy finds out Sheila's been released and Katie puts Poppy on notice during a battle. Moment on the Bold and the Beautiful. Hope stunts Brooke. Steffy reacts to Sheila's release, and Poppy eavesdrops on Katie's discussion with Bill. At Forrester, Steffy kisses Finn and tells him she's so glad to see him. She was awaiting him sooner and asks what held him up. He asks how her day is going at work and she admits she's a bit frustrated. Finn asks what's going on. She says, Brooke and Hope. It's all Logan's, all the time. In the design office, Hope flashes to hitting on Finn in the confidentially area before. Brooke comes by and asks, did you hear? Sheila got released from guardianship. Hope says she heard she was with Finn when Deacon texted him. Brooke pries, so you were with Finn? Hope confirms it. Brooke says it's all relatively shocking that Sheila was let go. She asks if Hope has spoken to her father. Hope says she'll talk to him when he gets home. Brooke can only imagine how Steffy took the news and thinks Finn must be shocked too. Hope feels he was actually a little relieved that Sheila was released. Brooke gops, Finn's happy about Sheila's release? Hope says she said relieved. Brooke aloud. He'd be worried or enraged indeed. Hope explains that he wanted to do industriousness, but deep down she thinks he didn't really believe Sheila was behind Tom and Hollis' death. She's upset about him having to tell Steffy the news and what her response might be. At Bill's place, he and Poppy kiss and spoon. She wants to make love, but he has someplace he needs to be. Just also, her phone goes off. She says she's going to take the call upstairs and trots off. Katie comes by and Bill says, what an affable surprise. She says she needs to talk to him about their son and all the changes in your life. Katie is concerned. Bill's life has changed so much, so snappily. Bill insists it's all good. Katie's not so sure and she doesn't like that he's not paying attention to what she's trying to tell him. She's not sure this thing with Poppy and Luna is what it appears to be, and she's upset. Poppy sneaks down the stairs and listens as Katie tells Bill that this whole situation with Poppy and Luna is moving too presto. Bill doesn't like to stay. Katie argues that doesn't mean he has to move them into his home. How well do you really know them? Bill knows enough, they're family. What more do I need to know? He appreciates her concern and admits he'd be much worse than her if the places were reversed. Bill's sure her worries are unwarranted. Katie wishes she could believe that. She's concerned about Will coming home and how he'll fit into this situation. Bill says Will is flexible and may love having a family. Katie huffs. Bill can see they're not going to come to an agreement and has to get to a meeting. Katie says she knows he's enamored by the idea of having a son. Bill says it's not an idea, Luna is his son and he's pledged to take care of her. In fact, we've bandied relinquishment. He wants to give her the Spencer name. Katie gops, oh my god, Bill, she warns that he needs to be careful then. I know you don't want to believe it, but I get a weird vibe from Poppy. In the stairwell, Poppy listens, tight-lipped. Bill promises Katie he'll be conservative and walks over to kiss her forepart. Poppy watches and frowns. Bill exits and Poppy walks out. Anything I can help you find, she asks Katie. Katie didn't know she was there. Poppy smothers, you know, this is getting a habit. Katie asks, what is? Poppy replies, walking by and chancing you in Bill's arms. In the main office, Steffy explains to her hubby that she and Hope have analogous pretensions, but she fights her on everything and Brooke isn't helping. She's in an insolvable situation with two women who are against her. Her phone goes off and Steffy says, oh, it's my pater. She exclaims after reading that Sheila's been released. Looking at Finn's expression, she realizes he formerly knows. He says Deacon just texted him. She asks why he didn't tell her. Finn admits he was alive. Steffy can't understand what the authorities are allowing. In the design office, Brooke hopes Finn won't tell Steffy he's relieved. That wouldn't go over well. Hope thinks he should be suitable to speak his mind without it being a treason. Brooke says Steffy's been veritably outspoken with Finn when it comes to Sheila. Hope argues he's been an awful married hubby to Steffy. Brooke says, right. Committed. To Steffy. She reminds her he's wedded to Steffy. Hope knows, but she does question more and more if Steffy deserves a man like Finn. Brooke's jaw drops. In the main office, Steffy wails to Finn, this can't be passing again. She can't believe she allowed herself to believe that justice would eventually be served. Now, Sheila is out again and has another occasion to strike again. She could manipulate him or show up at the house again. It's a whole other position of fear. I don't understand this. It had to have been Sheila. Finn takes her in his arms. At Bill's place, Poppy complains that she keeps chancing Katie in her home, bad-mouthing her to Bill. Katie says he's important to her as the father of her son. Poppy says he's the father of her son and is obviously important to her as well. She heard every word Katie said and recaps. Poppy tells her she and Luna aren't trying to foray. They there because Bill invited them. Katie muses, ever the accommodating gal. Poppy reminds Katie she let him go. Having a little dealer's guilt, Katie she thinks it's egregious she wants him back. In the design office, Hope flashes to being up near to Finn and smiles. In the main office, Finn assures Steffy that she and Kitty's will always be safe. Steffy tells him he makes her feel safe, and when he supported her, it meant the world to her. Finn says there was nothing tying Sheila to the scene and there was a lack of motive. He questions what reason she'd have to kill Tom or Hollis. Steffy doesn't know why Sheila does what she does, she's wrong. Finn knows she's able of it, and he's thankful she was taken in for questioning. Steffy asks, if Sheila didn't do it, who did? Who? At Bill's place, Poppy wants Katie to admit that all of this is about her and her passions for Bill. Katie questions her showing up in city and suddenly having this son with Bill. She has a right to question that, this is the house where she and Bill raised their son. Poppy says now it's the house where she and Bill are raising their son. Katie warns that will be home soon. He'll be there, which means she'll be there. Poppy walks over to her and says, so, you'll visit. And also you'll leave. Katie muses, commodity doesn't add up. Bill doesn't see it because he's so in love with this idea of having a son. But I see it. Your story has holes. You hooked up with Bill at a music jubilee a long time ago. So if you were that casual with men, there must have been others. How numerous. She knows how poorly Luna wanted to know who her father was and have him in her life. Why would you stay 20 times to take the way to find out for sure, to eventually take a maternity test? Now she's there, the lady of the manor house, guarding her position with Bill as though someone might sneak in and take it down from her. It's nearly as if you're hiding commodity that could ruin everything. I've got a lot of questions about you, Poppy, and I am going to find out the answers to every single bone of them. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that despite all the allegations, Deputy Chief Bradley Baker had no choice but to let Sheila Sharp walk free for now. That could change if new substantiation shells against Sheila, especially if someone tries to frame her. Still, this story could swing in another direction if Sheila gets cured next. What happens if the indicted becomes a victim? It's easy to imagine Deacon Sharp chancing Sheila unconscious at some point and making sure she gets rushed to the sanitarium. John Finnegan might be on duty and save Sheila in the nick of time. Still, that could add to the riddle of if the same medicine ends up in Sheila's system. It could eventually be determined that Sheila was the killer's coming willed target, so that might leave Finn indeed more convinced Sheila is innocent.